Howdy. It occurs to me to explain why you see my eyes always peeping over the title cards. I call them that in mockery. They are, of course, thoroughly amateur. The reason is, right down there, my finger's actually pointing beside the camera, but on the screen it's pointing right at the number. That's the counter, and I hold each one up for 5 seconds, so I have to look and see when to flip, when to set them aside. If you never wondered about that, now you know something you never cared about. What do you say I pour me some whiskey? And I have to set that up there. Every time I alter one aspect of my setup, it requires me to alter other aspects. And behind me in the living room, the radio is playing Gloria by Laura Branigan. Cool tune. Great singer. She died in her sleep at something like 50 years old of an undiagnosed heart problem. This, by the way, is Frey Ranch. It's their ordinary bourbon, which is a 4-grain recipe. Corn, rye, wheat, and barley. It is somewhere it will tell me. 90 proof. It is all from the Frey Ranch. That name Frey Ranch, it is the name of their ranch. Although they do more than punch cattle there, they grow all their grain. They've been farming in Nevada since before Nevada was a state. They grow all their grain, they have their own distillery, their own warehouses. This is all their own juice, and it's high-class stuff. But this is a Whisky Basics video number, I think it's number 29. I neglected to check, and I'm not going to go do it now. I could run in there real quick and run back, and you'd say, I wish he'd hurry up and only take 3 seconds instead of 5. Or I could pause it, and all you'd see is my finger reaching out, and then my finger drawing back with a little bit of jump in there. But I ain't going to mess with it. You'll see on the screen when when the video comes up what number it is. But I'm rebuilding the Whisky Basics playlist. And it's a question and answer format. I ask a question. It's a question I wanted the answer to when I was starting out in whiskey and had to hunt all over creation to find all these various answers, and then I answer it. This is a 3-part question. First, what is proof? What is foolproof? What is barrel proof? And those were the things that were uppermost in my mind 4 years ago when I was running into these terms. Well, the first one I already knew, because although I wasn't drinking whiskey then, I didn't start drinking whiskey till 2021. I grew up in a house where we had liquor, we had beer, and so I learned my terminology back in the 60s and 70s. I knew what proof was when I was, well, you're not going to see yay high. Yay high. But what is proof? In the United States, it is twice the alcohol by volume. So I said this is 90 proof. Where'd I find that? Over here, and I don't know how well you're going to see this, and I'd better move the glass. It is 45% alcohol by volume. You multiply that by 2 to get 90 proof. If you ever want to know what the alcohol by volume is, if you know the proof and you want to know the alcohol by volume, you divide by 2. You have 100 proof whiskey, divide by 2, 50% alcohol by volume. In different countries, they have different systems. The UK has another system. But here in the United States, proof is twice the alcohol by volume. Alcohol by volume is half of the proof. What's full proof? Proof itself has a legal definition. The law requires proof to be twice the alcohol by volume. Full proof does not have a legal definition. This stuff smells like apples. First sip of it tonight, excuse me, tried to go down the wrong way. And immediately honey, cinnamon, brown sugar. They're standard bourbon notes, at least for me, although the honey is not as standard. But that doesn't change the fact that they are delicious. This is good whiskey. This bottle, I bought it back on the 15th of July this year. Ran me $48.89, 49 bucks, and worth every penny of it. Good whiskey. Full proof, theoretically, is the maximum barrel entry proof for bourbon, for rye, for corn whiskey, what have you. There's a category called light whiskey, which has different rules. There isn't much of it. Most whiskey drinkers either have never had it or don't care for it. So full proof is the full proof at which you can put whiskey into a barrel to set it aging. Now there are some brands of whiskey which call themselves full proof but are less than 125, which, by the way, what's half of 125? Well, I have to do the math this way. 12 divided by 2 is 6, which leaves 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So 62.5 alcohol by volume. Now, I don't guarantee my math is right. If you want to check my math, go ahead. If my math is wrong, I would say don't bother telling me, because I already know it very well could be. Let me try it reverse. 62.5, well, 60 times 2 is 120. 2 times 2 is 4, so that would be 124.5 times 2 is 1. Add that. I think I did the math right. And I have to do it that way in my head. I have to do it in pieces. My dad, you could write down several 4, 5, 6-digit numbers, 4 or 5 of them in a column, draw a line under it, show it to him. He could glance at it and tell you the correct answer every single time. My brothers and I one time decided to test that. We got out the calculator. He got the right answer faster than we did, and he always got the right answer. My dad has gotten a lot smarter as I've got older. I am now older than he was when he retired. He retired at 55. But anyways, that's foolproof. It's theoretically 125. Because the law does not define it, some whiskeys will have will say foolproof but have a different proof than that. What's barrel proof? Again, there is no legal definition. Theoretically, it is the proof. You take 1 barrel of whiskey, you dump it, whatever proof that whiskey is as it comes out the barrel, that is the barrel proof. So if this whiskey is 129.7, that is, you bottle it at that's barrel proof. If it's 138.2, that's the barrel proof. If it's 141.9, that's the barrel proof. And that, by the way, is what they call a hazmat. 140 proof and above is literally so flammable that legally you cannot carry it on an airplane. It's a hazardous material. It has to travel either by train, truck, or ship, depending on where it's going. If you want to ship hazmat whiskey to Japan, it must go on a ship. You cannot put it on an airplane. That stuff is good. There is some apple in there and some getting some citrus. Maybe it's like those candy orange slices. My little brother used to call them gold when he was a kid. I was born in 60. He was born in 67, so he'd be 58. It's hard to think of him that old, even though I know I'm 65. It's hard to think of me as 65. I'd have had no trouble with my age till I hit 60, and all of a sudden I can't believe I'm that old. Now the thing about barrel proof, again, as I said, there's no legal definition. So you take Wild Turkey Rare Breed. I could see it and hear it in my mind, and my mouth would not say it. I have trouble talking. I have trouble talking, not trouble making noise. I can spew out stuff all night. But Wild Turkey Rare Breed is supposed to be barrel proof. Every single bottle for years has been 116.8 proof. And you cannot tell me that Wild Turkey always finds barrels that fit the Wild Turkey or the Rare Breed profile that just happen to always be 116.8. Now there is a way to legally make that the barrel proof of every single barrel of Rare Breed. You test it, 118.9. You add enough water to the barrel to bring it down to 116.8. Then you dump the barrel. I think that's cheating. I don't like it. I think Wild Turkey is better than that. Jimmy Russell, who's worked there for over 70 years, is better than that. But for whatever reason, I think that's what they're doing, because there is absolutely no chance that for years, year after year after year after year, years upon years, every single barrel that suits the Rare Breed profile just happens to be 116.8 proof. No. I'd sooner believe that elephants fly through the air and drop roses from their butts. Some oak in there as well. And on the finish, there's some definite oak. And also nice fruitiness and honey. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Rare Breed. It's good whiskey. Wild Turkey makes good whiskey. Their 101 is one of the best 100 or just a tad above 100 inexpensive whiskeys out there. That and Rebel 100 and Knob Creek 9 are all anywhere between 25 and 35 bucks. All of them 100 proof, except for the 101, one whole proof point difference. and all good. You don't have to pay through the nose either for proof or for taste. Granted, there are some good, expensive whiskeys out there. I have never tasted anything that I would be willing to pay $200, $300, $400 for. I've tasted some mighty good stuff that was worth the price or more. The Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye is a $70 bottle. It's worth at least that much. I'd pay $80 for it, but not $100, although it is good. To recap then, proof in the United States, it's a measure, I should say this, it's a measure of the amount of alcohol in whiskey, or for that matter, in any liquor. It is twice the alcohol by volume. Full proof, theoretically 125 proof, the maximum proof you can put whiskey into the barrel, but there's no legal definition. Barrel proof, theoretically the proof at which the whiskey comes out of the barrel, but again there's no legal definition. So those latter two terms, take them with a little bit of grain of salt sometimes. They might not mean what you would think they would mean. So, I still have me some Frey Ranch bourbon. Not much left in the bottle, which I set aside. And I want to, by the way, thank you for watching. I've stabilized, at least for now, at 66 subscribers. Every single one of you I appreciate. You have subscribed to the most thoroughly amateur whiskey channel I've ever encountered. And this new setup is so much better than the old one. In the long run, it's proving to be better for the channel that I lost the entire Whisky Basics playlist. You have subscribed to thorough amateurism. Yet you're watching the videos, you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you. You could have gone to any other channel, and I've recommended others before. You didn't have to subscribe to my channel. You didn't have to watch this video, and yet here you are, and I appreciate it. I really do. And of course, it's easy to say. You have to take my word for it that I'm being honest, but I am. I really do mean it. And so, all 66 subscribers to Whiskey for Beginners, here's to you.